Ladies and gamers, welcome to BelleNOiRtv. My name is BelleNOir, and you are watching Cast My Game episode 17, where I cast your games. So, wait a minute, looks like something is a little bit off right from the get-go. Who would have thunk? Let me just fix this really quickly. No. I'll have to make it larger by a great margin, which is, I don't know what happened here, but it's a little bit weird because everything was fine before. So, welcome to the channel. As I said, this is a show where I cast your games. This is episode 17, so we have already gone on for more than 4 weeks. I think this is actually the 6th week I'm doing this. So how does this work? You send me a 1v1 replay between 10 to 30 minutes long, exceptions being of course made in the rare case that the game is exceptionally good. Minimum skill level that the players in the replay should have is master level. I don't care which server, but that's the minimum requirement. So, master replay, 1v1, 10 to 30 minutes. I'll select out of those and cast it. If you do want to get your replays casted, if you're here for the first time, or if you're just watching and are curious what this is about, when you do send those replays, please put the title Cast My Game as the title of the email and include a short description in the body of the email. Don't forget, tell me which one of the players in the replay is you, because I can't know your player name, right? So it might be a little bit hard for me to distinguish. And if your replay does end up getting selected for the cast, I always do send out email reminders to people that submit replays, so they know when they're going to be live, and if they can't make it, the VODs are up on my YouTube the same day usually that I do make the cast live, so you know which episodes to look for if you want to see your game. So that being said, welcome everybody on the stream. Bleza, Essie, JackO, Mac, Myth Odin, of course, Clan Mythology from the Netherlands, and Revangale. Welcome back, Revangale. So, without further ado, let's go into the first game right away. Let's just load this baby up. The primary reason why I selected this replay to be cast is, of course, that it's on Clontes Mire, which is a kind of a weird map to play on. So I was interested how this will go, how this will work. Oh, Catastrophic Chick, welcome to the stream as well. Hello there. How are you doing this fine evening? I'm sure you are fine and dandy and happy. Alright, jumping into the game. On the left side we do have the Red Terran Revangale already present in the chat, so you might have made the connection that he actually submitted the replay. His opponent is going to be Rooo, the blue Protoss here. I do not have any idea about which server this was taken from, but rest assured, both players are masters, so this should be a pretty cool game. Now, one thing to note about this map is this middle path. You can get scouting very quickly. It reminds me a little bit of Scrap Station, a map that was really popular in Wings of Liberty. And interestingly enough, there is a wall-off. There's a wall-off being built on top of the ramp by Rooo. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Revangale played a random and Rooo wasn't entirely sure what to expect. Gas going down at the appropriate time. The Terran, however, he's not getting any gases so far. If he's going to get gases, he should do so now. So let's see if he does end up doing that. Looks like he won't. Oh, I spoke too soon. You might notice that I have not seen these replays at all. I just selected based on the description in the email, so I don't know what is going to happen exactly. I have not seen these. Cybernetic score should be going down. No double gas openings from the Protoss, so Revangale is going to be feeling pretty comfortable in the fact that no... Oh... Alright, again I spoke too soon, so the gas does end up going down, which means Revangale will have to be a little bit more careful, because usually when you're playing PvT, you want to be expanding as fast as possible as Protoss. If you do end up taking the second gas, even chrono boosting out the Zealot, that usually means that you want to be teching relatively fast, or you are setting up for a sentry attack. Getting that Zealot and chrono boosting it out is actually a fairly good sign of, ooh, the SCV does get taken out by the Zealot, actually. This is a fairly obvious sign of an incoming aggression. Usually you don't need Zealots this early unless you're planning on being aggressive. So far, on Revangale's side, he's got only one gas. He's going for the reactor, so this could be a reactor expand. He does have a lot of minerals, and there he drops the CC down. So this is an expansion build, but unlike the gasless expand builds that we came to see a lot in Wings of Liberty, the reactor expand, what this allows you to do, since you do get that gas income fairly early on, with that reactor you can either go into quick Hellions or Widow Mines, which is probably what Revangale is doing here right now, or you can tack to relatively quick Hellion drop, or just generally medevacs. But the advantage is that although your expansion is a little bit later, you will have quite a lot of Marines thanks to that reactor. And indeed, Rooo is trying to be aggressive a little bit. He's getting the Robo facility down first chance he gets. And ooh, he scouts that there is no expansion, and he sees 4 Marines up top. The Stalker has to be really careful, and he gets away with almost no hull damage taken, so that's good. But he did see the expansion going down. Let me just double check that. Yes, he did. And he even... No, he did not see the factory here, but he did see the command center. So he's going to be fairly certain that he can go ahead and expand himself. And there he drops down the expansion. Now he's got 2 sentries. He's making observers. The first observer is making its way over to the Terran base. The travel distances are fairly short, so he should get there just in time to see the starport. He should even see the medevacs, the Widow Mines coming out of the factory, so he should be prepared. If he positions his units well, he should take almost 0 probe losses. However, the fact that you have this reactor and you don't swap it with the factory means that you are going to have a lot of Marines. What you can do as a Terran in this position is poke with the Marines at the front just as the drop is coming in. If you manage to pull your opponent's army out of position, you are pretty much guaranteeing yourself damage, either with the Widow Mines in the main or with the Marines in the expansion area. Bunker going down here for Revangale, and he's probably only just going to be going for... Okay, so it's a combined drop. It's Marines Widow Mines. This fairly good choice. Rooo building all of his buildings at the edges of the base. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you land a medevac here, snipe a gateway. What is the Protoss going to do about it? The medevac is making its way across the map. It is being spotted by that observer, however, and Revangale just confirming that there is an expansion. Medevac, trying to be sneaky, sees the gateways, sees the pylons, and he's got to be like, oh my goodness, I can't ever drop here. He sees everything, and that's even without knowing about the observer. So this was pretty much defended, for the time being at least. And the Protoss adding on double forges. So let's see if he tries to go for 2 base Colossus with double ups into a 3rd base, or if he goes into Templar mode straight away. Rooo just continuing, Revangale just continuing as normal. He's getting the stim. Fairly delayed stim, but this is what you should expect, given the opening. Oh, the Widow Mines do get unloaded, though, and they burrow before they before they are killed. 5 kills on that baby, and 3 or 4 Marines 4 Marines getting away, but that Widowmine is still there. Where are the observers? We have 3 out on the map. But only 1 is here. Another Widowmine got 1 kill only. It's going to recharge fairly soon. Let's see how many kills it gets. Oh, perfect pull there. Perfect pull there by Rooo. And this one... Well, so when all is said and done, 8 probes killed total, which brings us to 32 versus 31 harvesters. And, well, Revangale, at least for the time being, has to play defensive. That's just purely because he doesn't have stim. He doesn't have stim, and without stim, you pretty much can't engage the Protoss army. Not if he's got enough units, not if he's got upgrade advantage versus you. I have to say that the timing of the armory is perfect here for the Terran player. He's going to be able to jump into 2-2 upgrades straight away, and it looks like Rooo, he is going for a Templar build, maybe Charge Lord Archon, something to that effect. He already has the Twilight Council way before the 1-1 upgrades finish, but I don't see any Templar tech going down, either a Dark Shrine nor Templar Archives. So it's a little bit wonky of a build. And he isn't taking gases here, so maybe he's planning on expanding, or what he can do is slam down 5 additional gates and just go for a Zealot Gateway all-in with charge and +1/+1. And is going to be counting on overwhelming his opponent. He's doing neither at the moment, though. Or rather, everything at once. He's getting Templar Archives. He's getting 1, 2, 3, 4 more gates, bringing himself up to 8, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 8 gates total. And he might go for an attack, just now taking his gases, so... This is pretty much, you know, this is a fairly good build. The problem is that the Terran player, he is evening out the game in upgrades. He does have 1-1, or will have by the time these armies potentially will clash. Clutch scan there by Revangale, seeing all of the army of his opponent. Of course, he's still looking for avenues of approach to get that medevac in. Not being very successful with it. And Rooo, he's just setting pylons in advance everywhere, because, you know, there is nothing like a counter-attack. He does see that there are Hellbats in play as well, so I wouldn't mind him if he starts getting Immortals. That might actually be a good idea. Hellbats go down to Immortals fairly quickly. Also Marauders, while the Zealots keep them at bay. Ooh, but this is a... He should have actually gone for the drop. I think it's still selected with his army, and it's not getting its job done. Revangale has to pull back from this position, but at the same time, he's dropping into the natural expansion. Feedback goes down onto the medevac. Where is the Mothership Core for the Photon Overcharge? Nowhere to be found, but this position is very good for Rooo, and he's going to clean this up. Let's see if he's able to clean up the other half of the army as well. Widowmine guarding the perimeter here, getting 1 kill onto that Zealot, but having 40 seconds to recharge. 2-2 upgrades, very, very close to one another for both of these players. And the Protoss can't engage effectively coming out of that choke, but if he gets out, he can actually take this army. He might try to do something. Force fields are going to be key here. 3 of them do go down. Nice work here by Rooo. Time warp, slowing those units down, but there are no Zealots without the Zealot wall. I don't know if these Stalkers if they are going to be enough for the time being. It looks like it barely is. But the Terran at this moment in time is up ahead on bases, and that's a PF as well. Economy-wise, he's hugely ahead, 60 harvesters to 43. Protoss has not been doing a very good job of kernel boosting those probes out, or just generally building them. Only just now getting Storm. Very, very late Storm here. The only thing that is going to be keeping him in this game for the time being is the upgrades, to put it quite simply. And he really should be taking another base. Possibly even here. We have another medevac going out. This pylon has been inactive for the majority of the game. Right now the probe is trying to move out further inland and maybe build a pylon elsewhere. I really like the positioning of Revangale's Widow Mines though, because he's keeping tabs on all the possible avenues of approach that Rooo could use to assault his base. He's getting ghosts, getting Mobius reactor down. Revangale having to be really careful with that medevac. Feedback will not kill it at this point in time, and I think Rooo knows it, so he's warping in 2 additional Stalkers. And 2 Stalkers and 1 Templar for feedback should be enough to defend. Of course, the easier it will get, the longer the medevac stays there. +3 attack upgrades going down for both of these players, and the Rooo is making a switch into Colossi. That's a fairly smart move, I have to say. So, so far a pretty even game. Apart from the worker kill tab, these guys are really, really even, both in army supply and worker count, with Revangale having a slight lead, and I think this probe is not going to be happy. Oh. Okay, don't mind me, guys. I'll just build the Nexus and let it get killed. Cancel. Professional cancel there by Rooo. Very nice job. This medevac still posing a threat, and Rooo deciding that, well, I really kind of need that 3rd base, so you medevac, get the hell out of here. And Revangale, knowing where the Protoss army is, he's thinking of counterattacking, but this observer, positioned in the perfect spot here for the Protoss player, is going to see that. So this will give time to Rooo to position his army correctly, but the drop in the main does get unloaded, and he can actually... Will he try to target down the Temple Archives? Yes, he is, but these Marines in the back not in the best positions. I don't think this will work. This Templar has enough for a storm as well. Meanwhile, we have a huge battle in the center of the map. That could be the deciding factor in this game. Only 1 Colossus and no extended thermal lances. The force fields are all gone. Archons morphing in too late, and the Terran army is victorious. Meanwhile, the drop in the main has been defended, but what does it matter when you lost all of your army and Rooo has to tap out of the game? Revangale taking the win. Yes, I do agree. It's one of the most effed up maps, and I'm very happy that it won't be in the next map pool for the next ladder season. I might actually try my hand on the ladder tonight as well. So because I haven't played for a very, 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 very long time. Like, I don't even remember when was the last time I played. Maybe 2 weeks ago, a couple of games. Really, really bad. Like, every time I log in and I see my bonus pool, I'm like face palming myself, and then I have the desire to lose that bonus pool, so I start laddering some, but the bonus pool is just too great, and I can't play as many games as I would like, nor play as often. So it always kind of like, I diminish the bonus pool by 50 points or so, and next time I log in, it's like plus 70. So I'm having big troubles losing my bonus pool right now, getting rid of it. Alright, so that was a TVP, Revangale versus Rooo. If you guys like the stream and wants to help out, it's very easy. You can retweet our tweets. Of course, you can do so if you follow my Twitter. You will see my tweets. If you retweet them whenever we go live, that would be a sweet thing of you to do, as it hits a wider audience. Of course, you can also contribute by trying to, you know, if you have feedback or anything, we have a thread for that on Team Liquid as well. You can just go here and say something nice about the stream, you know, or comment on some of the games that have been casted here. Or you can follow my Facebook page, and when you see a post made by BelleNOiRtv, share it on your wall. It's as easy as that. Takes 3 seconds of your time, just one click. It helps out tremendously. Of course, if you miss any episodes, go to our YouTube, youtube.com/BelleNOiRtv. You're gonna find a playlist with Cast My Game. Everything is there. You can check out everything that has happened. up until now. So going into the next game, let's have ourselves a PvP. You know, we have seen Protoss just now, so let us have a ZVT. It is going to be eSuba Devil versus Eeriness SeNi on BelleNOiRtv Vestige. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate that, guys. Hope you are liking the show. We should have guest casters coming onto the show fairly soon. Again, so far we only had one. It was Wolf from Germany, a very nice lady, gorgeous girl, and she really likes StarCraft, so she might be making an appearance again. And Maddles also promised me to stop by sometimes, so whenever I see him on Skype, I will start shouting at him, "Hey dude, let's do a cast together." So maybe sometimes during the next week, Maddles from Game Social TV might be stopping by as well. He's a swell dude, he's a great inspiration. If you knew that guy, you would know what I'm talking about. But for the time being, jumping into the game, here in the bottom right, we do have from eSuba the Premier Czech team. It's going to be the Green Zerg Devil. His opponent spawning in the top left. From Eeriness, I think the clan is disbanded at the moment, but I'm not sure about that. It is going to be the Red Terran SeNi. SeNi just going with a fairly typical opening. Wow, interesting position on the barracks. Fairly typical opening with just 1 Rax. No CC first on this map. And Devil, by the looks of it, he really wants to be getting that hatch first down. He's already sending out a drone. And the drone will grow into a hatchery in due time. 100 seconds to be exact. And it looks like SeNi is going for a gasless expansion himself. Scouting with the SCV. Let's see if he does end up building a second CC immediately as he has 400 minerals. The minerals are climbing a little bit, and he does have a second supply depot, so you know the fastest way to expand is actually not build the supply depot, just build 1 marine out of that, and then you drop down the expansion and start getting the orbital command as well at the same time. But this of course cuts into your army production a little bit. But you do end up having the expansion up a few seconds earlier. So the pool is already on the way. Probably Devil will be taking gases unless he wants to be doing the 4 queen opening and taking a relatively fast third. This Overlord, I don't think it will end up dying. The Marine just does not have enough DPS to take it down, but Devil knows what's up. He knows the timing of the expansion. He knows it is gasless one, because otherwise it would have been later a little bit. SCV returning home safely after scouting the expansion of Devil. And Devil looks like he's going to be going for some sort of 4 queen opening. There we have it. Additional queens being queued up in the hatcheries, taking no gases. Let's see if he will just focus on producing drones for the time being, or if he decides to take a very fast third. I wouldn't fault him for either, taking a faster third being the better option in my opinion, but so far he's just pumping drones and queens. Bunker already in a good position, and we can see that the bunker hates bricks. I don't think SeNi fancies the idea of being a mason, building walls and stuff. So this is a fairly sight in the recent months. Even back in Wings of Liberty, fast 3 CCs were fairly common. SeNi taking double gas for that tech, probably will end up getting a factory here in a moment. And getting a 3rd CC, he will try to establish map control with the Hellions. Getting a reactor for that. He may swap the factory onto this reactor later on, if that's his plan. So he will try to maintain map control with Hellions while he's building harvesters, of course, and then once he has enough and he's got additional barracks built, he will just float the expansion over here most probably. Devil, quite interestingly, not taking a third base, instead deciding to take all 4 of his gases at once. He does have quite a lot of queens. I think he wants to... I mean, I have seen a couple of replays by Devil, and he's the kind of Zerg that doesn't take a third base before there is creep connecting the 2 locations. So I think he's just going to be spreading creep, and once the creep is all the way up to here, or maybe even here, then he will end up taking a third base. He really prefers these very, very safe styles with Zerg that take the econ game a little bit slower, but allow him to stay fairly safe, incur almost 0 losses from any form of harassment, and he's getting a quicker tech. So, first Hellions roaming about the map. Additional barracks being added on. Everything is looking fairly standard. Favoring the combat shields in before the stim, actually. That's a fairly interesting decision. Probably SeNi just wants to make sure he can withstand any kind of battling explosions. Perfect timing on scouting the third base. We can see that he knows how Devil plays very, very well. He knows he likes to take that slower third base beyond the 6-minute mark, and he knows when to scout for that. We still have 3 Hellions out on the map. He even saves this one, so right now the lane count for Devil has been knocked back to almost 0. He had to reproduce those lanes, getting a Baling Nest and Infestation Pit at the same time. Let's see if SeNi does end up scouting that. It looks like, by the looks of it, I mean, Devil, he's not getting a Spire, he's not getting a Hydra Den, he's not getting a Roach Warren, he just is pumping out the Ling upgrades as fast as he can. That lair was fairly fast as well, and he's already getting an Infestation Pit and Baning Nest, so we might end up seeing an Ultra Ling Baneling Infestor composition. He's taking a third base right now. As I said, he really prefers getting that creep over to that third location before he takes that base. That is very smart. It's, like I said, it's a slower approach to the game, but you will be feeling fairly safe the majority of the time. SeNi, in the meanwhile, he's getting double ops, and once he started them, he's adding on more barracks. These should line up. I mean, the add-ons on those barracks should line up with the starport finishing, so he can even switch the factory with the starport so that he can get quite a lot of medevacs out. An interesting approach to the game. And he's going to have a fairly strong timing on his hands. Devil being very careful not to engage off creep. And as well, SeNi having the presence of mind to kill any banelings that do approach that watchtower. Basically what he's trying to do, he's trying to deny map control for the Zerg player. This is fairly funny. Like, the SCV and the Zergling do not see each other, but they're occupying the same space. So already we can see Hive going down, Macro Hatchery being added on, the Harvester count a little bit lower compared to what you would normally see from Zergs like Liquid Red, where, you know, there are documented cases of him having 110 drones at this point in time if there is no harassment, which there wasn't. There hasn't been any drops, there hasn't been any form of harassment put on Devil by SeNi. Devil trying to deny the space, going down for as long as possible, spewing creep all over the place, and, you know, it takes a fairly long time for the creep to reseed, so this will be able to land only in about just a minute. And SeNi still having map control. Nice scouting links there by Devil. He knows exactly what is up, what he is facing here. He knows the upgrades as well. And SeNi, he's not doing a good job of continuing those upgrades. Does he actually have an armory? He should have an armory. Yes, he does. But he's not queuing up those 2-2 upgrades. There we go, only just now queuing them up, so being a little bit behind by that, with that. And with the Hive finished, Devil can go immediately into 3-3 anytime he chooses, as long as these 2-2 upgrades finish. And then he can just slam on an Ultra Cavern once he's got enough Infestors and take a fourth base. So it's going to be in a pretty okay position. Although his supply is really low at this point in time, he's going to be shooting way ahead of SeNi really, really, really fast. And really soon. Ultra Cavern going down. 71 workers, so he can think about taking the 4th base. And SeNi seems to know that that is probably going to be his intention. So he's stationing units there to prevent just that. And again, Devil, he will not be taking any of these side bases before that creep gets there. He does not want to be surprised by a counterattack, by a drop, by anything. Did he see that medevac? I think he saw it. Will he react to it? The medevac is making its way across to the 3rd base. Or maybe it will. In a couple seconds time. There we go. But there are 2 spore crawlers out. And nope. This is not droppable by any way, shape or form. SeNi realizes that. Pulls back immediately. And Devil, he's just getting a beastly army. Pneumatized Carapace is in play though, but Ventral Sacs nowhere to be found, so I'm a little bit curious why these overlords are here in the center of the map, right above the army. And this is the dangerous time for SeNi. He's getting very, very close to being maxed out, but Devil does have quite a lot of infestors out on the field, and he can start incorporating Ultralisks into his play right now. If SeNi attacks before Devil gets those Ultras out, he might have a chance. It will all depend on positioning, micro, and good Widow Mine usage. But if he attacks after that, boy oh boy oh boy, is he in a lot of hurt. Now, Devil, thanks to that awesome, fantastic creep spread, he knows exactly where the army is. And he has to engage this perfectly. Nice Fungals going down. Keep in mind, Fungals still do kill units. Widowmine is not doing all that much, but so far all the links have gone down. But this is exactly the time when the Ultras will start entering the field. So Devil needs to buy a little bit more time for himself. How many larvae does he have? 21. He's not making use of entirely all of them. He could have been producing a lot more Zerglings for the time being. He's driving the Terran army back just with Fungals and Banelings. Only 1 Ultralisk with this army. Ooh, he should really think about those Widow Mines and trying to get rid of them. SeNi wanting to take 2 bases at once. Let's see if he will be successful. The same is true of Devil. He wants to be expanding, and at this point in time, he does have map control. He does have center position out on the map. Thanks to this phenomenal creep spread, he can move his army about the map very, very, very quickly. But he doesn't know about the expansions. He should really get rid of those Widow Mines, though. I wouldn't mind that at all. The space will have to... Ooh, no! Cancel by Devil! That was definitely a pain in the ass for him, but virtually no loss, because look at his bank. It's over 2,000 minerals. He can afford to lose 300 minerals at this point in time. He surely can. Unlike SeNi, who is really running out of minerals, which of course means that he's macroing exceptionally well. Look at all these barracks constantly churning out units, and he's maxed again. But so is Devil. Let's look at the army composition. How many Ultras do we have out on the field? 7 Ultras, 4 Infestors. How many energy do they have? How much energy do they have? Almost maxed 2 of them, and 2 of them are half energy, so definitely a lot of Fungals available. Drop in the main base. Will not do all that much. Another drop, though, will end up denying this base. This base had to have been cancelled for the 2nd time in a row. And SeNi trying to outmaneuver Devil at this point, but Devil very, very reluctant to giving up that center base position. And essentially, SeNi, he's playing the slow him down before I can, so I can catch up game. He has to catch up in upgrades. He still has about over 1 minute to go. So he has to stretch the game for 1 more minute. Then he will be even on upgrades. His units will become infinitely more powerful, and we can see that Devil is starting to incorporate Vipers into his play as well. That is going to become quite handy in combination with Fungals and Blinding Clouds. Those Ultras are going to just have a field day with this army. Huge Fungal going down. Look at Devil. Does SeNi have high ground vision enough to take those infestors out? I think he does. Yes, he does. Even scans to make his job a little bit easier. Another fungal. Will it go down? Yes, it does. At another group of units, the Ultralisks are crashing with the Marines and the Marauders. Not even enough Widow Mines here. Blinding Clouds. Will they end up going down? Yes, but they are too late. Does it even matter, though? With the help of Queen's Transfuses and this... and this many Ultralisks, SeNi just does not have the numbers to face this army outright. And right now, Devil can cut in between the third base and the natural of SeNi. He can take out the third base, or at least prevent it from mining. That's exactly what Devil wants. He doesn't care about this base going down because he's got his opponents on the rope. And SeNi, well, he's not looking too good. His natural is being close to being mined out. His main base is 100% mined out, so his income is going to be fairly abysmal very, very quickly here. And unlike the Zerg player, he does not have the bank, so he has to be as cost-efficient with his units as possible at this point in time. Devil, after denying the third base, after killing himself some SCVs, he's just retreating back, trying to regroup his army. This drop, though, has done tremendous amounts of damage. Drones trying to defend the hatchery, never a good sign, but without medevacs, those Marauders will not stay alive for a longer period of time. Ooh, abducting the medevacs. What a good move. Unfortunately, there is no anti-air, but Fungals are going down onto these Marines and Marauders, and medevacs getting back into position to heal them. Ultralisks getting blasted to pieces by the grenades of the Marauders. And what the hell just happened here, Devil? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Couldn't you spare a couple of lings to kill those Marauders? Did you have to sacrifice a 30% of your drone count? Regardless, 5 more Ultralisks are going to be entering the field here very, very shortly. Devil needs to round up his composition with infestors at this point in time, because he did lose 2 hatcheries in quick succession, and he needs those minerals to rebuild those bases. He cannot afford to invest those minerals into the army right now, and I think this was one of his bigger mistakes this game, producing all those lings. Infestor, a great unit to hold your opponent at bay. 2 planetary fortresses here. Such a smart play by SeNi. You know, without those minerals, he can't really take additional bases. So this is it for Devil. It's make or break. SeNi does even have a food advantage over him right now. It's 100 supply for the Zerg in army and 130 for the Terran player. While the Terran does have a higher income because he was able to hold on to this base. He's able to be holding on to this base. So he's mining off of 2 bases effectively, while, well, Devil, he's mining off of 1. And he's really lacking those additional infestors, I have to say. He does have only 1. With only 1 infestor, there is no way you can manage the space this army can utilize. 1 fungal going down, not going to be enough. SeNi spreading his units perfectly, and Devil making the mistake of bunching his ultras up around this corner here as he was approaching the Terran army. Will it be enough? The transfuses are going down everywhere, and for the time being at least, Devil is pushing the Red Terran back, but I don't think it will last. Just now getting the infestors after he planted down this base. What he really needs right now is prevent SeNi from taking out this base, and 1 drop is all it takes. And I don't think this is looking good. No, it's not looking good for the Zerg player. No cancel there, and Devil in a really tough spot right now. He has to rely on perfect fungals to keep him in the game, but as long as SeNi spreads well, his composition is pretty Marauder heavy. They can withstand quite a lot of fungals, and again, SeNi pulling back, always hovering near the 200 food limit, so he's macroing fairly well. Devil running out of options here very, very quickly. Still no base being able to be built here. Still getting denied. Still no base here, being sniped 3 times already. quite a lot of infestors, but as I said, as long as SeNi positions his army well enough, if he even spreads decently, he's not going to have a problem. And right now what SeNi could do actually is go into the main and go for some tech. The spawning pool, the infestation pit, prime targets. And look at the splits here from SeNi. Fungals are not going to be enough versus this army. Great concave for Devil, but this is not a Roach Hydra army where you actually need concaves. You need to get towards your opponent, get physical with him, and SeNi just annihilating this army, and Devil will have to tap out of this game shortly. He doesn't have any mining for him. SeNi even overstimming his army. He knows he's in such a good position right now, and well, Devil not doing so hot. Not doing so hot at all. I think he even I think he even needs to start distance mining a little bit. Because his income is really abysmal at this point in time. SeNi taking a 5th base on the right side. No way Devil should be able to break this. The army is out of position though, so he could kill those planters before that army comes to the rescue. He will lose quite a lot of SCVs in the process as well. Where is your army, SeNi? If you catch Devil here at this point right now, if you stim in and kill his units, that's it for him. I doubt he will be able to replenish that army to withstand your 200 food of supply. And he does save one of those planetaries, which is the key structure there. As long as there is at least one base, he's got mining. It's not in the ideal position, but he can still mine from it. He will, of course, end up rebuilding the other CC there and turning that into a planetary fortress as well. Just not enough lings, no banelings, only one infestor. I think this is the final confrontation of this game. SeNi will just smash through Devil like a hammer through a paper wall. And Devil, well, he's trying to do what he can, but there is not much he can do at this point in time. And really, GGs are not far away. The last fungal, or second to last fungal going down, that's going to be it. GG from Devil, and SeNi takes the map. Barthon, this game was fairly old. I think it was played sometime in... I don't want to lie, but I think this is from April. I think this was from April this year. To be honest, I think Devil made a lot more mistakes in that game compared to SeNi. I mean, failing to cancel his hatch 3 times in a row, taking not very good engagements, letting 30 of his drones die to 2 marauders. You know, it's kind of not the best play I have seen from him. Not by a long shot. But I do have to say that I'm really interested in his ZVT style. You know, taking those bases so slowly, just putting a big emphasis on creep spread and creep support to help you defend. That's entirely different from the greedy Zergs that you see everywhere else when they see the fast 3rd command center from the turn, and they're just like, let me just take a 3rd base at 6-minute mark, get my creep there later. No, Devil's not doing that. Devil is getting the creep there first, and then he's taking the 3rd base. So, very interesting style. You don't see that very often, and it makes for interesting games. But regarding Devil and SeNi, it was obvious that both of these guys have played each other in the past. They knew exactly what their play style was. So they were, half the times they were almost playing blindly versus one another. Very interesting to see. Okay, going into the third and last game of today. And this is going to be a PvP. It is going to be UCAP Adonminus versus CPLAY JackO. The map is going to be Neoplanet S. Thank you very much for watching, guys, for tuning in. And if you did miss the show, you are probably watching from YouTube. So hello to everybody on YouTube watching Cast My Game right now. If you do like the show, if you would like to support, send me your replays, retweet our tweets, share our posts on Facebook. You can even comment on the show and the games in this thread that I'm linking into the chat right now. It's a discussion thread about this game on Team Liquid forums. Every little bump that we get helps us tremendously. And of course, as BelleNOir clears his throat, of course, we do have a tournament coming up in about 2 weeks' time. The prize pool is $108. All you have to do is follow me on Twitter or Twitch to be eligible for signing up. And you can participate. The player limit is 16. So the moment I make the announcement about the tournament, you better hurry and sign up. The faster you sign up, the greater your chances of getting into the main bracket. Jumping into this game, we do have UCAP Adonminus in the top position here on Neoplanet S. In the bottom is going to go ahead and be CPLAY JackO, the green Protoss player. Both players seems like they're going for a 13 gate. Let's check the number of chrono boosts, exactly even, taking their gases at almost the same time. Now let's see if they end up taking 2 gases or just 1 gas each. That's usually a big sign of what is going to happen in the next couple of minutes. And it looks like both players are just satisfied with having 1 gas. As I say that, Adonminus decides to throw down a second one. So, not using the chrono boost onto his Nexus, unlike JackO. Because, you know, if you chrono boost a 3rd time, you can't really afford getting that gas and getting the Cybercore on time. So this is why Adonminus has not chrono boosted a 3rd time. Not before he got that gas. So he's going to have a quicker tech. Of course, what he can do with this is going for Sentry Expand. It's a really fairly new style of PvP, I would say, but you can go into a Sentry Expand off of 2 gates. By getting that gas fairly early on, you can pump out sentries. That saves up your minerals. You can add a 2nd gate and a Nexus, and then proceed to get a Robo or other tech, depending on what you scout with the hallucinations. Meanwhile, timing-wise, you can still end up cancelling the Nexus and staying fairly safe because you do have 2 sentries out, and you can warp in more off of those 2 gates in case you're being attacked. Looks like JackO is thinking of expanding himself here, just off of 1 gate, just getting the sentry, and just having that sentry and nothing else. Adonminus, he's getting a Zod out, and he's putting a lot of chrono boost into that gateway. Getting a Mothership Core as well, so... oh, I don't know. Depends. Depends. He can throw down a Robo at this point, or he can wait a little bit. Oh, and he's actually throwing down a Twilight Council. So, you know, that's not the fastest Twilight Council I have seen, but looks like, by his build choice, Adonminus just wants to stay very, very, very safe. He got the sentry out first, just to have that force field available. And then he got the Mothership Core, just in case of any early attack. He does have the Photon Overcharge, and then he got the Twilight Council. He's going into a 4-gate. Ooh, will this actually be a 4-gate blink? It's a very, very safe opening here for Adonminus, and he indeed is getting that blink. He does know about this expansion. JackO going for the sort of sentry expand himself, getting the scouting now Oh, and he does see the mothership core. That's a big tell for him that an attack is incoming. Let's see what units he does end up warping in. Not the best position for the robo facility for him. It can get sniped very, very quickly. The same goes for those pylons on the edges of his base. The mothership core will grant vision. Proxy pylon already in place. Adonminus warping more and more and more Stalkers. He can even elect to force field the ramp and take out this Nexus. This will be so huge for Adonminus here. Blink not yet done. He has to buy time. Photon overcharge going down, but all Adonminus has to do is just wait for 1 minute outside of that range. Meanwhile, warping more and more and more units. And JackO, he wants to buy time. He wants to buy time for those Immortals. He knows what's up, he scouted it, he knows exactly what he's facing, he knows this is 4-gate blink, he knows he will need 2 or 3 Immortals out. Even losing this Nexus would not be such a big deal for him. He can actually afford to lose that Nexus at this point in time. As long as he doesn't lose very many probes, it's going to be quite okay. He's ahead on the probe count. And let's see what Adonminus decides to do here. No DT follow-up for now, so he's going to be relying just on the Blink Stalkers. Nice forcefulls there, Blink done just in time, but Adonminus does not notice and lets those 2 Stalkers die. How much energy does the Mothership Core have? 53, which means JackO needs to wait for another minute for the overcharge. And this is exactly the type of play that can break JackO's neck right here. Beautiful usage of abilities we are seeing from Adonminus right now, but he's not getting very much done here. He did end up force building the ramp, but these Stalkers, can they actually get the robo facility? It does look like they will be able to, and he should blink out of the base the moment he did that. He will not have enough time to get the robo facility. Big mistake here. Instead of waiting a little bit for the recall and just blinking out, he loses the Mothership Core. Does end up sniping the Immortal though, but I think he overstayed his welcome just a little bit. There's still quite enough of army here for JackO to defend and hold on, and without that Mothership Core he can't blink up any longer. JackO should identify this and position his army down here. He knows there is no friggin' way Adonminus can threaten him up on the ramp. Guardian Shield helping out tons. Photon Overcharge going down. Adonminus not in the best of position. He's blink microing very, very well here, though. JackO's Stalkers getting a lower and lower on hit points, but he still just has barely just enough to hold Adonminus at bay. At this point, it is it's break or lose. And Adonminus blinking to the high ground yet again, sniping Stalkers one by one. Is JackO going to be able to do this? He desperately needs that Immortal out. Additional warping coming in, but good blink micro from Adonminus. And JackO, well, he's at a great disadvantage right now. The Immortal is about to come out, though. He needs to preserve the life of that Immortal as much as he can. Adonminus can actually, he could have actually gone for that. He could have blunk into that Immortal and snipe it. He's losing Stalkers needlessly at this point in time, just a little bit. And JackO still holding on. He does have the economy advantage compared to Adonminus. Another Immortal being queued up. 2 Stalkers only remaining for Adonminus compared to the 3 Stalkers and a Zod for JackO. And another Immortal will be making an appearance very, very shortly. And I think JackO done it. I think he might win this. Another warp-in is needed very, very quickly here to support that Immortal, but I don't think that Adonminus has enough at this point in time. He's running out of resources, additional units being warped in. And, you know, if this Immortal pops out of that robo before this one is killed, it might end up very, very badly for Adonminus. JackO can even elect to use probes to fight. He can pull them, he can use them as a temporary block for those Stalkers so that it diminishes their maneuverability. Again, Adonminus trying to go for that Immortal, but a second one appears out on the field of battle, and this is going to be it. Adonminus, I don't think he'll be able to break JackO here. Even a Mothership Core being remade. JackO very, very wisely pulling the probes. Needs to keep that Immortal alive. It's all back and forth, all micro here. And Adonminus, how many minerals are there remaining inside his base? Only 500 or so per patch. This is such a close game. JackO, you need to pull probes at this point in time. You cannot let yourself be pulled in the grasp of those stalkers, because if you do, that Immortal will go down. That's the only thing that's keeping you in this game at this point in time. Adonminus not blinking into that Immortal, does not really want to get surrounded by the probes. Will JackO hold on? Oh, second Immortal coming in. Oh, this will be so tough for Adonminus to break. The Zealot counts are actually exactly even. He's trying to blink in just a couple of Stalkers to target down those Immortals, but only getting one, and has to hightail it out of there. And we already have another one in production. As long as he's got those Immortals and he micros well, he should be able to hold on. Let's see here, nice force field there. Adonminus not microing for a little bit there, was waiting for that blink cooldown to wear off. He gets the Immortal though, but at what cost? Only 2 Stalkers remaining and no resources to warp in more. 3 additional ones coming from the back. But at this point in time, it's the army sizes are fairly equal, I would say. And again, this Immortal. As long as JackO can keep those Immortals alive for long enough, I don't think Adonminus can do this. He doesn't have high ground vision. No Archon follow-up neither, just by getting a Templar, a Dark Shrine. And second Immortal will be joining the fray very, very shortly here. And it looks like JackO is stabilizing at this point in time. Zealots being warped in. Very good choice by Adonminus, actually. Those Zealots will be able to tank for the Stalkers, allow them to pick off. Oh, but that was a mistake, blinking in, and now the force fields go down. There is no way he can get at those Immortals. The blink is on cooldown. And wow, that was really, really close. He could have lost all of those Stalkers there. He can warp in 2 more in a moment here. He does have 6. I can't believe this game has been going on for the past 16 minutes already and still not being resolved. Adonminus now has no choice but to expand. He can't kill JackO. And JackO getting into Colossus mode, he knows he's got enough Immortals, and he's not seeing more Stalkers being warped in, so he has to suspect that either an expansion is going down or Adonminus is completely out of resources. And JackO going back into pro production, this is not a good sign for Adonminus. As soon as JackO feels safe enough to afford starting making probes again, you know you have lost. He can try to snipe an Immortal here, but the Gateway army supporting the Immortals is big enough. His only chance is blinking into the main right now and trying to do as much damage as he can, buy some time for that expansion to go up. Getting 1 pylon, that's a good pickup, but won't be able to do much more. Blinks out. And maybe he will try to go for the natural, now that he knows that the army is up on the ledge. Time warp going down. Ooh! Gets 1 free Stalker there. But that's all he's going to get. Maybe a second one. No, and the Mothership Core gets sniped for the 2nd time in a row. And Adonminus, well, this is not going well for him. What can I tell you? 26 probes to 41. Colossus on the field as we speak. And, well, I think once Adonminus sees that Colossus, he's going to be like, well, back to the drawing board. I'm GGing out. His expansion is finished. So we could still try to do some magic here, but not with 2 Immortals and a Colossus supporting that. He knows he can't engage that. That's a full-out retreat, and he's trying to transition into Archons. Getting the Templar Archives, getting the charge. He knows that's his only chance. But even then, he would have to have quite a lot of Zealots. He would have to engage out in the open. Now let us see if JackO is smart enough not getting any additional sentries. I think he will actually go for a push right after the second Colossus pops. He's adding on more gateways. The thermal lands are getting close to being completed. He's going to scout around for additional proxy pylons. He doesn't want to get counterattacked while he will be pushing his opponent. And yeah, just by the looks of it, cutting all probes, investing everything into his army, and sending out a probe to build a proxy pylon. Time is running out for Adonminus. He does have those Templar Archives finished though. They were scouted by the Phoenix. So he's got to get as many Archons as he can. The attack is on the way. Oh, this is so smart, even building proxy pylons at 2 sides of the map. So he can reinforce from either side and potentially get a deadly flank onto his opponent. 2 Archons, they should be at the front though. If they're not, Adonminus will have to use Blink to blink back his Stalkers. That's not the thing you want to be having. You want to save that Blink for Micro, but Adonminus not doing the best job. Blinking to the top flank, trying to get at that Colossus is not going to be enough. There are Immortals shielded by the Stalkers. Archons can't get at them. The 2 Colossi surviving the Zealot line, gone. And Adonminus will have to tap out here momentarily. Great, just such a great defense by JackO on the knife's edge, pulling ahead with his advantage. GG, well played, and JackO takes the game. Congratulations to CPLAY JackO for defeating one of the better Protoss players around. I don't know if you know Adonminus. Adonminus is a very good Protoss player. He's a mid-ranking GM, I think. So quite an achievement for JackO. You are getting way better as the months go on. And I'm very excited for your future. I hope you will have very many interesting matches to show us. And tournament achievements as well. I'm looking forward to that greatly. So, I think that's it for today. So let me catch up with the chat before I go. MacSC says, see my replay that I sent you today. I know you sent me a replay, but I already made the selection for today's show in the morning. So you will probably end up seeing that replay in the next episode, either Monday or Tuesday. Before I go, guys, any questions you might have, feel free to type them. I will answer to the best of my ability. In recent news, I'm starting to making arrangements to cast some of the better Czech teams in English, so you guys can actually understand. Hello there, Rakinare. Unfortunately, we are ending the show right now, so you showed up too late. When will I announce the follower tournament? As soon as I get reply from DreamHack. Because I have to shift my schedule around DreamHack, so until they let me know if they actually do want me as a community caster or not, I can't get a date on the tournament. But so far it looks like it could be 29th maybe. Because 22nd there is a rather big event going down here, StarCraft-wise, in this city, the finals of the National StarCraft League, and I'll be attending that. Not as a caster, I'll be there as a in the audience, you know, watching. I want to check that out. So Can't do it 20 seconds, can't do it 15 because there is DreamHack, and if I do end up getting the caster gig with them, then I can't be on 2 streams at once. So probably 29th, probably. But the moment I know, I'll let the news out, so if you have me on Twitter or Facebook, you won't miss anything. How long does it take daily to maintain the beard? You just don't shave, dude. I mean, you just don't shave. I'm just too lazy to shave, ergo I have an awesome esport beard. Give some thumbs up for the beard. Alright, final question. Well, I do trim it, mind you. I do trim it from time to time, like, you know, so it doesn't look bad. Final questions. No, I will not be making a Twitter account named BelleNOiR's Beard. Are you crazy? Would be funny though, like, definitely. You guys are cracking me up. All right, I'm wrapping up the show. I won't be here during the weekend. I might play some StarCraft in the following 2 hours after I eat, so let me know on my Twitter or Facebook if you do want me to stream that, as I haven't streamed my ladder in a long time, because I play really badly when I stream, and I'm not a good player. I'm just, you know, I'm just a scrub. I'm just a noob. I'm a way better caster than a player, which says a lot because I'm a terrible caster, so... Alright, so let me know on my Facebook or on my Twitter. I'll be making a poll or whatever, so just check that out, answer that. I will give you, I don't know, 30, 60 minutes to do that. Depending on the results, I will either turn the stream on again or not. So thank for tuning in. If you just tuned in now, this was Cast My Game, a show where I cast your replays. If you missed it, go to my YouTube, BelleNOiRtv. The VOD should be up in about 2 hours. Okay, a question. Do I think about streaming some bigger Czech events such as the Computer Games Championship or National StarCraft League? Yes, I am, but it will depend on the organizers and how well they... There's a fly in my room somewhere. How well they prepare the events for the English-speaking audience. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. I forgot. I don't know when your birthday is actually. All right, going offline, guys. Check my Facebook for the poll if you want me to stream the ladder, because I'll be leaving tomorrow and I'll be coming back on Monday. Signing off. Until next time, just remember to stay safe. Have fun, storm first, and ask questions. Later, guys.